Alrighty, welcome back to Musical Connections. This is Next to Connect. I'm your host, Zach Snow. Joining me right now are two of the frontmen of one of Newfoundland and Labrador's premier traditional folk bands. Their brand new album, Gone Jiggin, is their first full-length album in 5 years, and they're set to go on tour, or by the time that this drops, will already be on tour promoting their brand new record. And here to talk all about it are the guys themselves, co-lead vocalist and co-founders of Rum Ragged, Mark Manning and Aaron Collis. Guys, welcome to Musical Connections.
Thank you very much. Yeah, love that intro. Thank you very much.
Listen, you guys deserve it. I've had you guys on Celtic Wake Up countless times before, so this is really the first time we're doing the podcast together. So thanks for coming by.
Oh, thank you very much for having us, as always.
And congratulations again on your brand new album, Gone Jiggin. Is your first full-length album in 5 years. I know I've been bugging you guys about it for like the past year or so. But of course, like when it comes to making good music, you really do want to take your sweet time. And I think it shows with this record, just from listening to the tracks myself. What an album. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much, Zach. Appreciate it. Now, you know, it's like anything. You kind of take your time to do it right when you're at it, and we're really hoping that it translates to people who listen and enjoy the music that we put on this record. It's a lot of traditional songs from around my area of home and from Aaron's area as well, and some tunes from, it kind of spans all over the island really. And it's a record that we're very proud to get out there, and we've been playing it kind of on the road for the last year, playing some of the tracks off it, but there is some things that we've never even played live yet. So really interested to see what people think of it, and another record in the collection of records.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard you guys play some of these songs live too. They're absolutely amazing. I mean, you released Lazy Afternoon, of course, which was written by Stan Ellison. Probably one of my favorite tracks you've ever put out. And I keep saying that with every new track you put out. And of course, The Road to Luscious Bite, Island Stock, which was written by Kevin Blackmore, of Buddy Wasisname and the other fellers. And the most recent set of reels you've put out, Rayhead, Terry Evilese, and Mrs. Bells, which came out, I believe it was March 22nd, I believe. It was sometime in March.
You know better than me.
Yeah. Listen, when you're covering so much music on a week-to-week basis, you have to.
I tell you know your stuff, Zach. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. So, how does it feel to finally have your first full-length album out in 5 years?
Oh, it's awesome. Like, it was like the longest process for making a record. I think just because we were away from the studio for a little while. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And but after the pandemic, we started trying to build momentum we had going, and after like a year of gigs, we were ready to hit the studio again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels like we never really stopped. I know it's been 5 years, but of course, those couple of years there that everybody kind of had to endure, we weren't.
We weren't home the whole time. Right?
No, we played a lot. We've been spanning all over the globe. Really, we've been in a bunch of different countries and all over Canada and all over Newfoundland and Labrador playing the music from our previous records. And it was always a thing when we started. We wanted to get recording every single time we were finished. We wanted to get back into a studio and record. But we had all those records completed, and we wanted to get out and play those records for people, and we were busy with that for a few years. Mm-hmm. Some of the tracks on this album actually kind of come from some of our previous recordings. We wanted to put those tracks on previous records. It just didn't fit the puzzle piece right. And this record is definitely a record of pieces that we personally like, you know. And I think we liked everything we've done, but this was a record for everybody who listens, obviously, as well, but for ourselves too. And I think people are gonna catch on to some of these ones. There's a couple of sing-alongable tunes in there for sure.
For sure. And because aside from the pandemic, you guys released an album year after year after year after year. I mean, it started with your self-titled in 2016. You had At Christmas in 17, The Hard Times in 18, and then The Thing About Fish in 19 before that 5 years.
That's right.
Because when you count the pandemic, plus released this new record.
And that's what I mean when it was the longest process, because every other one we were just playing live, and every now and then, like say every year, we'd have enough new songs to make a record. Mm-hmm. And then during the pandemic, we had to kind of wait.
Yeah.
Anyways,
think we're getting old, Zach.
Aren't we all, man? Aren't we all?
Thank God.
Yeah, but for the thing about Fish especially, you guys didn't really have an opportunity to tour this album right up until, you know, the Omicron wave really subsided, and then you really had like a chance to, like, you know, sink your teeth into getting some dates to, you know, promote the thing about Fish.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we had a plan. We released that in November 2019, and we had planned to get out there and go, and of course everything got upended, but it was, pivoting. We definitely had to take a severe pivot, and that's what kind of birthed this album, really. And to have the ability to be able to have the time to put into this album like we had, and to be able to spend time with our families and our friends and be home here in Newfoundland and Labrador was extremely... It wasn't a great situation for everybody, but those sides of it and looking at the positives of the things that we were able to do through that time and focus on some of these tracks that we were able to put together in this album of Gone Jiggin.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get to that later on. But I want to go back to what got you started in music. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you. You're from the Southern Shore area, St. Bride's. Yourself and Zach both grew up around that area. I believe Zach was born in Branch, you in St. Bride's.
You got it.
So, what got you playing music in the first place, Mark?
Yeah, growing up, like you said, I grew up in St. Bride's out home and on the Cape Shore, which music was second nature in that area, but it kind of had found a back seat for a number of years with people at home and young people getting into it. But I had a teacher come to my school when I was in grade 9, I believe it was. Teacher Robert Colburn's his name. He's actually the music teacher at Holy Heart right now. Mm-hmm. And he came out to my school and he told us all that we would sing before we left. And we all kind of thought, not a chance. We all played basketball at the time. That was our pastime. And he brought us all to Florida for Disney Magic Music Days. And I think that's kind of, all of a sudden you have people coming out of the woodworks who wanted to sing then. But no, he got us into it. And I mean, I spent my dinners and recesses up in the music room and had a bunch of great friends out home who all got into music as well. But just a love for music in my family, I believe, was a big part of Newfoundland music for sure with me. My dad always had records on records. My mom is a lovely singer, but you'll never get her to do it in public. But that was what got me into it. And I still, just that idea of storytelling, I think, is what got me more so into music, was the storytelling side of stuff than the music even itself. And the importance of having a good story and being able to sit around and share that with people is a big part of it for me.
Yeah, and especially too with Rum Ragged, you guys have really, you know, taken songs that really were either, you know, recorded a couple of times or haven't been, you know, put out to the public at all, and really have made them your own. And that really goes to show with some of the albums that you've put out too, and especially on this new one, Gone Jiggin. I believe you do a cover of Thomas Trim, and I think Riley is another one you have on there as well. And also The Road to Luscious Bite, which is a song that Kevin Blackmore hadn't really put out yet to the public up until you guys put it out back in October.
Yeah, that's right. It was, I mean, a big thing for us all over the years was recording traditional Newfoundland music that had never been recorded before, making sure that it found its way onto a recording, so it was able to be preserved and to be around and new for people as well. Not just you know, not just as something that's locked up in a library, but something that's alive and well and used and known and on radio and on shows like our own here. Exactly, you know what I mean? And that was a big part of it for us. And you were mentioning too, like about like how we got into music. I don't know if Aaron covered himself there. How you got into music?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you're from Central Newfoundland, a place called Appleton. So let's go to you next. What got you into music, Aaron?
I was kind of just put into piano lessons as a young teenager. But eventually I saw a few old fellas around town, around Appleton, playing accordion, and I got really fascinated with that. And my stepfather's family as well came from a spot called Boyd's Cove, where there were a lot of accordion players and great singers. My grandfather himself he sang a lot of traditional music. Mm-hmm. And so eventually I learned a bit on harmonica. I could afford a harmonica. And I was a paper boy and eventually saved enough for an accordion and started teaching myself accordion and I kind of put the piano by the wayside and went with that a bit more.
That's awesome, man. Now, of course, I'm going to go to you next, of course, when it comes to the formation of Rum Ragged, because before Rum Ragged, you ended up forming the Dardanelles with Rich Claus and Tom Power, and there was an iteration there with Andrew Dale and some other fiddle player whose name's not coming to me right now before the current classic.
So I didn't found the Dardanelles.
Oh, Tom did?
I was around for the first record, but
okay.
So in that band it was Andrew Dale, there was a fiddler, Kate Bevan Baker, she's from PEI, and then Tom and Rich.
Okay, so you didn't found the Dardanelles. I wonder who did.
I think Fergus Brown O'Byrne was in the original lineup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And a few other characters. I think Josh Ward might have been in it. I'm not sure he was really there from the start, but yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Well, listen, I'll leave that to Fergus Brown O'Byrne or Tom Power to confirm. I want to get you guys on sometime. But back to what we were talking about with the formation of Rum Ragged here, because up until that point, you were playing with the Dardanelles, of course, with Matthew and Amelia and Tom and Rich. Yeah. So how did you end up encountering Mark to start up this group, Rum Ragged?
I was taking a lot of side band gigs down on George Street, so I'd be playing with whatever band needed someone on a given night, and Mark was doing a lot of solo gigs or gigs with other people, and so anytime I had an hour off or if I had a break in between gigs, I'd go see his set and he'd do the same. He'd come check ours out, and then after a while we're like, why don't we just do our own gigs? You know what I mean? Makes sense.
I think when we sat down and kind of realized that we both come from very unique areas of Newfoundland and Labrador that really hadn't been delved into a lot on the traditional side of music, and how we had something that was a bit different to offer the traditional and Newfoundland folk music. We had something different to offer to it, and that was kind of what spun it off, I suppose, with ourselves.
Yeah, we always want to mix up the set list, instead of playing the same tunes everyone else was playing, we wanted to play some stuff from our neck of the woods, you know what I mean?
It made us proud to be playing a few of them tunes too. It was, and it made it fun. And it still does. I think one of the things that keeps us energized with it and keeps us happy about what we do is the fact that we go and we search for new things, new old things, I suppose, traditional pieces of music, but being able to refurbish is the right word, maybe? I don't know. It's not a house.
It works.
Well, reimagine?
Reimagine is definitely, yeah. I heard these songs when I was growing up at home. Even on the record you mentioned Gerald Campbell there, and John Joe English, and my great uncle Mikey sang Riley. I remember my great uncle Mikey singing that song when I was a kid, when he'd bring us up trouting up Big Brook out home and the end of Young's Lane, and those things are the important side of it. I think getting back when you really delve into why you're doing it or what makes you want to do it. It's sharing that side of your history and being able to take that in different parts of the world and explain Newfoundland and Labrador to people from elsewhere. And people are really starting to dig what Newfoundland and Labrador is. I mean, I've been lucky to cross paths with Dave Panting from Figgy Duff over the years. And I mean, being a Newfoundlander Labradorian on the mainland one time wasn't always a lovely thing for some people. It was, it was met with some animosity at times. And when we go now, we're met like Newfoundland Labrador's reached a new stage on a national scale, on a global scale. It's a place that people want to come to. It's a place people are interested in. It's a history and a culture that people want to know more about. And we've been lucky enough to come up in a time as a band that we get to share that music and culture and stories, and people want to come out and hear it and see it and listen to it. And that's what that's kind of got us into it, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. And you've been through band members over the course of the almost decade now that you guys have played together. I mean, I believe the original kind of bar gig kind of thing was yourself, was you two, and I believe Anthony Chafe, who I used to go to school with in St. Kevin's High School. Shout out to you, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
And he was a part of the band for a couple of years. But now you've settled on this current lineup of Colin Grant from Cape Breton and Zach Nash, of course, your childhood friend from Fatima Academy out in St. Bride's.
Well, funny, when we started the band, actually, two brothers from Essentia, Stephen Green and Marcus Green.
Oh, no way!
That's who was the original lineup, and there was four of us in there. Yeah.
On the first record, it was us and Peter Green and Billy Sutton produced it. Yeah. Produced everything since, but yeah.
Including the brand new one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's Billy's the fourth Skeetle.
He's the fourth member. He's the fifth unofficial member of Rum Ragged.
Yeah, it always has been. Yeah, no, when you got somebody like Billy Sutton at your ready when you're making records, it's always an enjoyable situation to be recording with Billy.
Yeah, and of course, when he also came up with the Fables too, I think he also had like that idea of preserving Newfoundland and Labrador music. And when he stumbled onto you guys, well, not really like stumbled, but found you guys and wanted to like produce all your records. I think right now you're leading a part of a brand new generation of Newfoundland and Labrador traditional folk performers. I think you went from up and comers to I think now you're the standard bearers of the genre.
We're getting old.
You're getting old.
It's well, when we first came across Billy, we were and still are great friends with Shannon Ganak, and Billy was playing with the group at the time, and the conversations we had with Billy even before we delved into what the music was going to be, his understanding of traditional Newfoundland and Labrador music, and his want to share it in the way that he does was a significant reason as to why we ended up working with Billy and continue to work with Billy. Doesn't hurt that he's one of the best musicians this side of everywhere.
He can play anything. Like if I give him my phone or a camera, he can play that too.
He'd make it work.
But yeah, of course, 2016 was when you released your debut album, of course, self-titled Rum Ragged. But it was also around that time as well that you got a really unique opportunity with Lamb's Rum, and out came the Lamb's Anthem. The amber, the spice, the navy, and the white. Mm-hmm. A tasty drink of lambs will hit the spot just right, and it's just such a catchy tune. But how did that opportunity come up in the first place with Lamb's Rum?
It was. I think it was a public contest actually, and so anyone could just write a song and send it to Lamb's, and they would, I guess, at the end choose the winner. We were lucky enough to win it, and there was a cash prize. And what we did with the money is we made our Christmas album. So that was the best, outcome of that.
No way!
We had money for the Christmas album. So
that's wicked.
And I think it kind of came about. They tweeted at us actually. Right. Lamb's Rum tweeted at us
because of our name, obviously.
With a name like that, you should probably write an anthem. Yeah, it's that one. That was fun for us. But at the time, we got to record that video at Aaron's pub. I remember sitting in, what year was that now? 2016 or 17, I guess. 16 it would have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Before the first record.
Yeah, and it was just before at Christmas, I think it came out.
So maybe it was 2017 then,
Yeah.
Right.
And then the Christmas album came out that winter.
Yeah, but that track was a lot of fun. And we still do some work with the people at Cold Reason Lambs and the good people who support Newfoundland and Labrador music, and we hope to do more with them if they want to give us another $15,000 to
You can make I believe this is your fifth album with Gone Jiggin coming out now?
That's correct.
I think so, yeah.
Well, fourth, not including the Christmas record.
Of course.
But like fifth in total recording.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe you can finance the sixth album.
Ah, there you go. Could work out.
Now, going back to the number of albums that you've put out, your fourth record entirely was The Thing About Fish in 2019, and that was released just before COVID-19 really struck down and locked us all up in our houses. And that ended up getting you guys a JUNO Award nomination in 2021, and that was the JUNO Award year where everyone was like shut down, locked down. So how did it feel to receive that JUNO Award nomination?
Well, it was a massive honor. It's not something we saw coming at all, but it was just really great to be nominated in general, and it I think it helped bring our music a little bit further, to maybe a wider audience. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's like any of the accolades of music. It's not really a necessity with it. It's not something that we needed to continue to play music, but it definitely helped. And just to be honored in that kind of a way. We all grew up, even before we got into music, watching the JUNO Awards, and hearing about, this person or that person was nominated for JUNO or winner JUNO. It's a feather in the cap, and if it never happens again, it was a lovely thing to have.
Personally, I would love for you guys to get a JUNO because I think you guys definitely deserve it. But this has been expressed on by many guests that have come over the past couple of weeks or so. You guys don't make records to win awards. You make them just because you love the music that you make.
Completely. Like I was just, let's reiterate what I was saying earlier. There's the importance of actually sharing Newfoundland and Labrador music. I think, we love many different kinds of music, and I think that we could have the opportunity to play different kinds of music, and we've had the opportunity to play different kinds of music, but this is it's a labor of love right down to from the start to the finish of it, and this record shows it. It's tracks from all different areas of Newfoundland, and just being able to go and play some of that stuff. Like, when you get out to, there's a song on there from Redhead Cove. Like, I want to go play that song in Redhead Cove. I don't know if there's an opportunity to play in Redhead Cove, but like that's the thing that kept us going. And you get to go to another side of the world and explain to people, this is a song from Branch. Like, growing up in my school at home, I graduated with 10 people, kindergarten to grade 12.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's a small town, small area. We didn't have cell phone service. We didn't have dial-up internet till I was in grade, I don't even know what, but being able to go, and me and Zach look at each other on the stage all the time. It was like, I never think you'd be able to go, and we're doing what we're doing, but we're doing it with pieces of music and culture and stories from our home, and nothing better.
You can put a picture now from, when you and Zach first attended Fatima Academy to the picture you're at right now, where you're just, playing to like many, many people all across the globe. To like, you go from the how it started to the how it's going. You guys are doing pretty damn good, I gotta say.
I'm enjoying it. It's funny, there's a picture of me and Zach in kindergarten. We're after making cookies.
I wonder if we can find that for the viewers on YouTube.
We'll send it to you, but I tell you one thing, I wouldn't eat the cookies. Aren't too crisp.
Hey, bye. Now, you talk about your history with Robert Colburn. He was a teacher at Fatima Academy. Now he's the music director or music teacher at Holy Heart High School. You guys ended up working with him for a collaboration with the Holy Heart of Mary Choir for the banks of Newfoundland, and that was a really wonderful take on that song. So how did you guys end up doing that collaboration?
I think Robert maybe approached us originally.
Yeah, Robert reached out originally, and we'd done a concert with them at Holy Heart. It was St. Patrick's Day.
They did a great version with us of the St. John's Train. They had a great arrangement of harmonies in behind us. And stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we all done that together, and then the idea of working together on a piece, and he kind of allowed us to find a piece too, and the Banks of Newfoundland being such a great Newfoundland song, and we got to work with Bill Brennan on that as well. And Bill done a lot of the arranging, and Steve Lilly, I believe.
Steve Lilly, engineered it.
It was, and you get to work with all the the students there who I came from. Robert being my teacher, Mr. Colburn being my teacher, to seeing these kids being taught by Mr. Colburn, and how. I have no idea what I'd be doing for a living right now, to be quite honest with you, if it wasn't for Mr. Colburn. Teachers are vital, and it's so important. I tell you, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know music. I wouldn't know the people I know. I wouldn't have the friends I have. I wouldn't have the opportunities, the experiences, if it wasn't for Mr. Colburn showing up at Fatima Academy when I was in grade 9 and giving us the time and having the patience.
Oh, yeah.
With us as well.
When it comes to teachers, they need to have a lot of patience to put up with the likes of us.
I tell you, I can't imagine. There was lots of days I wanted to learn Bryan Adams more than I wanted to learn anything else.
I remember in the video that you put out with the English School District, which is now under the government now, you said you were playing Jay-Z?
Oh, man, I was a huge rap, and I still am. I don't think there's a place for loving one kind of music. I think you have to love it all if you love it at all. Growing up playing basketball and sports, we listened to everything and during warm-ups, and from rap to Eddie Coffee. Listen to it all. But when you take a guitar in your hands, I was playing all the different kind of stuff at first. But it was getting to St. John's that made me realize how unique of an offering that the Cape Shore had for the music that was there. And stuff that just people, I thought everybody knew it, and I guess it took me to get to St. John's to realize that, no, these things are, they're special. And Rum Ragged was a vehicle to be able to bring that stuff to more people.
Oh, for sure. And when you consider like St. John's compared to, the places where you guys both grew up, Appleton for you, Aaron, and St. Bride's for you, Mark, St. John's is really like, the hub of entertainment for Newfoundland and Labrador music, but not discrediting any other locations like a Lewisport or a Gander or a Corner Brook. They're all wonderful places. But when you look at like just the size of St. John's, that's the place to be if you want to like, really make it in music.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, it's just great to that population of people to come see a show, for instance. Like, if you play the same small town every week, people are going to get sick of it.
Exactly.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, I guess we both kind of came in here for university.
Yeah.
First is what kind of brought us into town, and the side of music was just the thing that we'd done outside of going to school, and then it became the thing that we done always and still are doing. But going back out to those rural areas and playing in St. John's is lovely, and we don't get to play in St. John's a whole lot. We don't do it very often. We have a show coming up on May the 19th for an album release of this album. It'll be out for a little while so people can get to hear the songs and hopefully sing them back at us by the time.
Oh, for sure. I'll be there.
Excellent. Awesome. But yeah, like we don't get to play in town a whole lot. We do a lot of traveling, but also spend a lot of time in the bays and inlets and coves, and that's just that's a place where that music belongs to as well. But getting to play it in St. John's and getting to play it in front of a great group of people. Like last year we done the Churchill Park Festival, and we done the Folk Festival. Like getting to do those lovely shows, those festivals, when you get a good gathering of people who really want to listen to some folk music. That's a part we love.
Oh, for sure. Now, in 2021, you ended up signing with Laughing Heart Music. That's the record label Nigel Jenkins has out in Steadybrook. So how did you guys get that opportunity with Laughing Heart Music? And further to that, how helpful has he been to your guys' career up to this point?
I guess the opportunity came about when I'm a good buddy of Andrew Light from Reuben Rake, and Andrew and they were working with Laughing Heart at the time, and we were kind of assessing what we were doing, and it was becoming there's a lot of work outside of the music that we were kind of leaving on the table, and just as an immense amount of work, and we didn't want to be leaving that stuff behind, so we thought we needed some help in being able to work with somebody who was involved in the industry, and Nigel came in. We had a great chat with him and signed some papers back in December of 21, and he's been an immense help. Somebody who's puts the care into it, and we're super thankful to be able to work with him and the whole team at Laughing Heart.
That's right, yeah. And there's so much work going on behind the scenes that we don't even realize now. But we remember the years when we had to do it ourselves, but it's only gotten a bit busier since then, so I can't imagine now.
Oh, yeah.
All the emails and everything coming through. And
for sure. Trying to get interviews with you guys sometimes when you guys did all yourselves was pretty brutal, not going to lie.
Trying to get time with myself when we were doing it by ourselves was pretty brutal.
Oh, my God. Don't be talking, Mark.
Yeah.
But having Nigel there, I just give him a ring, give him a shout, and thanks to him for organizing this as well. He's a great asset to have, and he's also the chair of the board of Musicinterview as well.
That's correct, yeah.
So, been very helpful for your success, and just the opportunities that you guys can work together on, and get out there.
And being on a roster with other artists too.
Oh yeah.
We're huge fans of Kelly McMichael. We're huge fans of Reuben Rake and Silver Wolf Band, and so many other Newfoundland and Labrador artists who are going to end up on that label that are coming up right now. And the way that Nigel goes about, and the team at Laughing Heart fostering the youth side of things out in Corner Brook and on the West Coast, but also when they come into town, it's so important.
Oh, for sure. Now, in 2022, one really great opportunity you guys got to do was open up for then Prince Charles and Princess Camilla, who are now King and Queen, ever since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. You got to play for Charles and Camilla when they came to the province in 2022. So what was that opportunity like to play for the now King and Queen?
it was kind of a bit surreal for sure. Like, you know, I don't like using that word too often, but it definitely was. I think that was surreal.
Use it, please.
But and it was, you know, the whole ceremony, I guess, was, I don't know, less than an hour maybe, was it? Or like we played one song, but we had, you know, we rehearsed for a couple of days, just getting out there playing the one song, like knowing when to go out, and it was, you know, that's another immense honor, you know, just to be able to be a part of that and the reconciliation was was kind of the focus, that year.
Oh yeah.
When the reason they came over,
Yeah, and to be able to we started in on the thing about fish, is the song we played, and Chief Michelle Joe started clapping for everybody in the audience.
That's awesome.
And it was a really important day for Newfoundland and Labrador. It was an important day to the people in Newfoundland and Labrador, and to be a part of that through playing their music was, it's not why we get to do it, but it's a very important part of why we love doing it, no doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to backtrack here for a moment because I noticed you guys, you're wearing a hoodie and a cap that's about a place that you guys got stuck in 2019. You guys got stuck in the Torngats. It was a really foggy period of time that you guys were up there. You guys were playing a few shows there just before you released the thing about fish. And you guys were stuck up there for 10, 12 days. So go back to that moment of that time you were in the Torngats. What happened?
Yeah, we took the trip up there. We offered the opportunity to go to the Torngat Mountains and couldn't say no. It sounded like it was a place we'd never been before at that point. And I believe a place fell from the shelf.
Yeah, there might have been a bit of a glacier or something broke off.
Oh, wow.
Or I don't know what the term would be, but yeah, something happened that caused fog for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you can only get there by helicopter, so without sight of the mountains, you couldn't leave, right?
Wow.
So we were hunkered down, but I tell you, there's worse places to be stuck in this world.
And it's just one of those places you don't get to go every day, right? And it's just one of the more beautiful places in the country, I think. But
it was stressful at the time. We were losing some work at home, but the people at Provincial, they made sure that we made it home actually right in time to play the Newfoundland Labrador Folk Festival that year. We literally took our instruments out of plastic bags that were inside of our cases.
Oh my God.
We left the Torngats in a boat. It was an 18-hour steam to Nain.
yeah, it's like a long liner, you know what I mean?
And then a speedboat met us there, and we done a 5-hour open speedboat to Hopedale on the Labrador Sea.
Jesus.
And I mean, this was an experience that just you wouldn't try to recreate it.
But when else would you see the whole coast of Labrador down to Hopedale either, you know what I mean?
And even in the moment and in the stress of it all, our good friend Matt Hornell was with us at the time, and Mike Boone, who was a previous member of the band. But the four of us were sat kind of face to face in the open speedboat on the way down, and the speedboat was, opened up as fast as you could go, and you could barely kind of hear each other. But we all looked at each other and realized this is not the most ideal situation at the moment. However, it's also an incredible experience. Mm-hmm. We have so many moments like that.
Oh, yeah.
When we get to travel in different places, but I tell you, we've seen a lot of places, been a lot of places, but there's nothing that I've ever experienced like the Torngat Mountains.
Have you ever been there since that time that you were stuck up there in 2019?
We did go back. So the original trip was supposed to be for 4 days, and it ended up being for 14 or whatever.
Oh my!
But the second time we went, they wrote us, and I think they kind of thought it was like a bit of a joke. They were like, "Do you want to go back?" And we were like, "Yeah, absolutely, we want to go back." And
we weren't stuck this time, so
thank God.
They offered a 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, or 7-day thing. And we were like, "We'll go for the 7 days this time. At least we'll go for that long and actually be there for that long."
yeah.
So, what was your takeaway from that experience in the Torngats?
I think there's still things that are rolling out since then.
Well, but even just every time we go up, it's a cool place. I guess it's technically a national park, but they always have Inuit elders there to teach you about the culture and just the land and the animals and everything. So it's always an educational experience, and just learn about their history as well. Even though we're all sharing the province, we don't often hear their side of the story very often up in northern Labrador. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was definitely an eye-opener. There was no doubt. Actually, traveling to the town or the place of Hebron, there's a community there, and Hebron got resettled in a way that
Wow.
It's blew my mind with the story there, and still now we keep friends there who were working at the site at the time and have conversations every day. But I mean, that's a part of our province that we wouldn't have seen. I mean, kids in Newfoundland, kids in Newfoundland on the island side will probably see Ottawa or Rome before they see Labrador.
Yeah.
And that's something we'd love to be able to be a part of changing, getting people to go to Labrador more often. And that trip to the Torngats allowed us to be able to tell the story of going to the Torngats and being stuck there for a few days and whatever it was. But there's so much more to that place and so much more to that story that I hope everybody else gets to experience in Newfoundland.
For sure. I have not been to Labrador yet, too, so that's definitely a bucket list destination for me to go up to Labrador, and especially the Torngats.
Yeah.
So 2024 was, so by the time that this drops, you have already released your fourth studio album, just including Christmas, Gone Jiggin. Of course, you guys had the COVID-19 pandemic. You did release singles here and there in between. So did you expect the process of recording this album to take as long as it did?
Well, I don't know if it's a process. Recording was as long, but this time we just tried a different way of going about it, and we kind of put out singles throughout the year leading up to the release. So there's something new we're trying out, and that comes in with having management that has good ideas and stuff, and not just throwing all the songs out.
Oh yeah.
For years, I mean, we were back in the studio before the albums came out. Normally,
we wouldn't announce that the album's coming out. We just put it out. We're like, new album, and go on.
No releases.
You took your sweet time with this.
Yeah, and it was like Aaron said, I don't think really the recording of it actually took that much more time. It's probably quicker, honestly.
Yeah, it might have been like November we started, and in a couple chunks, and maybe a couple little touches a few months later just to finish it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like the actual, I guess, preparation and release of the album, and getting the artwork done. We were able to work with Judd Haynes, which was our first time.
Fantastic guy.
We always worked with Krista, and both of them, I mean, to be able to work with both of the best for that was cool. I like what he's done on this one. It opens lengthways, if that makes any sense, instead of sideways.
I need to see this now.
Oh, yeah, we'll bring it up to you for sure. I should have brought one in, actually. Been running around all day.
Trash.
But I got it out in the car.
We will show that during the social media promos.
Certainly.
So, Gone Jiggin, of course, is your fourth studio album. How did you settle on the title Gone Jiggin?
It's actually a lyric in one of the songs. There's a song called Paddy Hyde, and it's the last words of that song, actually. So we're scouring through the lyrics trying to find a suitable title, and that's the one we came up with anyway. So
yeah, I mean, titles are never easy. It was easy on the first one. We just called it Rum Ragged. Which we had to call them all Rum Ragged. But no, that song was one that came from. I got the recordings from a fella, Tom Keogh, whose dad was Vince Keogh. And Vince Keogh was the last lighthouse keeper on Cape St. Mary's.
Wow.
And it was I heard the stories of him being such a fantastic storyteller and singer when I was growing up. I actually grew up with his grandsons, Scotty, Lundgren, myself, and Zach, in our class of 10 people at home. One of the classmates was Vince's grandson. And he had this song that's from down Redhead Cove. It talks about Old Pearlican. It talks about going out to harbour, names from down that way. And the ending is, hooray for poor Bo, he's gone jigging. And that's where the title came from for the album. I think it's just one of those things, like, everybody in Newfoundland, a lot of people in Newfoundland take part of the food fishery.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this Gone Jiggin kind of felt like
it was a fun title. Like, after all the, everything was pretty serious during the pandemic, and we, just wanted to have a lighthearted kind of record come out, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of tracks on there are kind of more lighthearted than some of our stuff in the past. Some of our stuff has been a bit heavy and very I don't want to say like controversial, but polarizing in a sense. On the side of lyrically, trying to delve into
politically.
Definitely.
That's the word.
And some of those things. And this one was just a lot of these tunes that, like I said, I grew up Uncle Mikey singing this song about Riley. Riley and I were chums about these two best friends, and that one fella always got the short end of the stick. Always a song I remember growing up that made me happy, And we just wanted to be able to record some of these traditional songs that hadn't been recorded before, but find the ones that were just happy, fun tunes to do. Like Joe Campbell used to do this song, Thomas Trim, and I just remember like everyone being happy around when that was being sung, and we just wanted to have a record of songs and being able to go out and take those things to a stage and make an audience not only think about these very political pointed things that we've done over the years, but also just have a good time and enjoy themselves and allow us to enjoy ourselves as well.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of us really need to enjoy what we have and enjoy life as we got it right now, because I think a lot of us are just worried about the future and worried about what's next, what's to come. Yeah. But we've all come so far. I mean, I remember first meeting you, Mark, in 2015 when Brandon Bayer released his paperback app, and you were just like very little beard, not like the beard you have right now.
Your beard's come a long way, man.
Oh yes, so was yours, Aaron.
Yeah, there we go.
And less hair on your head.
That's right. Well, this stuff comes from somewhere, eh?
Oh yeah, hey, bye. Can you share some of that with me?
Yeah.
Because I can't grow a beard for beans.
But it has been a long time coming. In fact, you've come a long way yourself. I remember that time meeting you. It was at the bar there at
Breezeway?
Yes, the Breezeway is where it was. And, you, just like ourselves, no different. Wanted to put work in, cared about what you were doing, and it shows now. It's cool to see.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we're in your office doing a podcast.
Yeah,
there we go.
It won't be the last time we'll get you guys in here.
Absolutely.
But backtracking one more time here, you worked on a video with Cecil Johnson for a song, Let Me Fish Off Cape St. Mary's, Off the Thing About Fish. Now, honestly, I wasn't really the biggest fan of the arrangement at first, but I really learned, it really grew on me, because I just love the different take you put on Cape St. Mary's, and just the video really did it for me as well. Just one of the best videos you guys have ever put out. So tell me a little bit more about the video for Let Me Fish Off Cape St. Mary's.
Yeah, that was an important one for me, growing up out that way. I mean, that song was my dad's favorite song. And Cecil, I went to university, me and Cecil were in class together.
No way!
And he done our first video ever for Back in the Harbour off the first record for George Street Festival. Cecil.
Yeah, him and Cody Westman, right?
They did, yeah, absolutely. And Cecil, we played his wedding, actually. It's kind of how the Cape St. Mary's video came about. And we were talking to him about working together again, and a couple of years passed, but Cecil came out home, and my dad and my mom and so many people in the community. Zach's mom was in the video, Tommy White out home, Anthony Londrigan is my dad's godfather. He's well up in his 90s now, but he's in the video. Little young fella from Potlands was in the video as well. We actually had somebody from every community out there. That song was written by Otto Kelland of Flat Rock, about out home. We always said growing up, everything was paid for in Newfoundland at Cape St. Mary's. It's like where all the fish was caught. It was a massive fishing ground out home, and that song nails it. Like, lyrically, one of the strongest, best songs in Newfoundland and Labrador history, and to be able to not only sing the song, rearrange it in a way where it was delicate to the lyrics, and to be able to go out, get in a boat, go off Cape St. Mary's, show people what it's like to see Cape St. Mary's from a boat, be able to put that in the video. I don't think.
Yeah, it just turned out great.
It did,
it's all down to Cecil, and he kind of envisioned the whole video, like how it was going to go, right? So.
Oh yeah,
Cecil's a pro.
Yeah, for sure. It's honestly one of the best music videos I think I've ever seen made in this province, and that's saying something, knowing the talent that Cecil possesses.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe it actually. That won the Video of the Year last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got an award for that somewhere.
I think did we give it to Cecil? I don't know.
I didn't give it to Cecil. We'll find
he's
out.
the one that deserves it, anyways.
Eventually.
And of course, just going back to this record once more, Gone Jiggin has been out, and just again listening to some of the tracks, it's an absolutely wonderful record. So you've said in previous questions that this record is more happy compared to the ones that you've released in the past. Just dive in a little bit more about what's different from Gone Jiggin compared to the previous albums you guys have put out.
I think, like, even just talking about this lineup of who we have in the band right now, like Zach wasn't on The Thing About Fish, so that's kind of a different sound. Now we have Zach with us, and sure, even Colin he came in on The Thing About Fish, so it's kind of like a continuation of the sound we were just getting into with that record.
Yeah, you're really just starting to get into your groove then.
And it feels like we're just kind of edging on a new sound again. It feels like we're opening up a new ability. Like, I'm interested in working on something new, already. But this record definitely is a sound that's unique of other records. I think the pieces of music on this one is what will make it stand out among the other ones. It's there's traditional pieces there, but pieces that were like, there's a lot of those traditional pieces that I'm sure bands before us have come across and just never saw it fit with what they were doing. And I think just the band that we have, we were able to make these things something that'll be a sound that we're known for. And having Riley on a record for me, having Thomas Trim, Paddy Hyde, I'm glad we got to do it, because I don't know if anybody else would have taken the time to do it.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna put you guys in the spot here. You mentioned those 3 songs there. What's your favorite song off this new record, and why? I'm gonna start with you, Aaron.
Well, it's hard to choose between your own songs, you know what I mean? I really like Paddy Hyde, and that's the song Mark was talking about that he dug up from Red Cove. Just a really great old Newfoundland song that I'd never heard before until Mark brought it to us. Yeah.
For me, Apple Tree. It's the last song on the album. It's a song that Aaron got from a friend of his out in Glenwood, Roger John, writer and musician out that way. I guess Aaron could probably tell you more about it, but it's my favorite song on the record.
Yeah, please do.
He's a fellow I knew, all my life, and he's married to my mom's first cousin, and so he's always been around. I didn't know he really played, and then all of a sudden, a couple of years ago, he was at the house and picked up the guitar, and he played 3 or 4 of his own songs. And I was like, "Wow, man, it's great stuff." And eventually, near the end of this recording, I was like, "We're missing something. We need one more song." And I went and did the Apple Tree, one of his songs, and it turned out,
That's my favorite song on the record, by far. I think people are going to like that one a lot.
Oh yeah, we're actually going to play that song coming up after this conversation on Next to Connect. But a song that I've played on Newfound releases in the past was a song that, to me, I feel is probably the best song you've ever put out, period. And it comes from Amelia Curran. It's called 1949, and you guys did this as part of the 75 for 75 campaign that was done by a bunch of other great people. And for the video purposes, Roger Monder and David Howells did a lot of video and photo work for this. But how did you guys end up getting this opportunity to, record this song and getting to work with Amelia Curran?
I was on a drive out home. It was during COVID, and I was heading back out home for a few days off. Just kind of going to chill out in the house in St. Bride's for a while. It's pretty quiet out there. It's nice like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was making my way out home, and I was listening to Amelia Curran. And I was just like, I had a minute to just stop and be like, oh, man, her music is so good.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So I stopped, I pulled over, and I sent an email to her just saying how much I appreciated her music, how much I was a fan, and I was looking forward to hearing anything new that she was going to put out. And within minutes, she sent a thank you and more or less was like, hey, no pressure or whatever, but here's this song I think it'd be a good fit for your band. This was back a few years ago, before any idea of 75 for 75 or anything had come around. And we started working away on it a little bit. We were working on a new record. We were gone away touring. Amelia was busy herself. And we kind of come to the head of realizing that this song was something we should do for 75 years. So we started into the studio on it. And then it came up 75 for 75, and they wanted to make a video with it. We found it to be a good opportunity to make a video for the song. But getting in the studio, having a piece written by Amelia Curran, being able to work on that piece with Amelia Curran, she produced the track as well. We get to work with some amazing songwriters, and our band's been extremely lucky. With the likes of Jim Payne, Kevin Blackmore on the new record, and Amelia Curran, Ron Hines has done his songs, and
oh yeah, Dirt Poor.
Yeah, and you get
Bob Porter,
Ghost in the Fog.
You name it. I mean, we've
Cat and Clevey, right?
Cat as well, yeah.
Old Shoreline, yeah. Like when it comes to Ghost in the Fog and Old Shoreline, Ghost in the Fog, I think is probably one of your signature tunes, just for the fact that when everyone hears you guys sing it, that first note comes out, I see it all rise and fall. They all know like who's singing that tune. Of course, originally it's by Bob Porter.
Of course.
But I think people more so associated with you now than they do Bob.
I tell you, we've been so lucky to be able to work with such great songs, and traditional music, Newfoundland Labrador is definitely what we hang our hat on, but being able to work with the songwriters in Newfoundland Labrador, and being able to go out and tell people about those songwriters, and being able to sing their songs, and be able to, when that songwriter comes back to you, like Amelia, wrote like a Facebook post or something, like, you know, it was this song is out today for 1949. It's like, to the band, you guys are perfect. There's nothing better in the world to hear a songwriter be happy with what you've done with their song. And it's an unnerving thing to do when somebody hands you over a piece of something that they've put so much time and effort in their song to, and expect you to do your own thing with it, but also you don't want to take it too much away from what they had in mind of. And if you do, you want to be something that they're going to be proud of as well. And yeah, working with Amelia Curran, it's something we very much hope to do again.
Oh, I would love to see that, and I'd love to hear like a full album produced by her. I mean, no offense to Billy, but
definitely.
having like Amelia work on another song with you guys would, I think, just be phenomenal.
We'll definitely work together again, I think.
What's one songwriter, or like, well, I'll just focus on songwriters here. What's one songwriter that you hope to work with, whether it be alive or dead, if you want to, like, you know, take a song and record it in a future Rum Ragged album?
Good question. We mentioned Otto Kelland earlier. I've went through a bunch of his writing over the years, and I found it so real. You know, our favorite songwriters are our favorite songwriters from the stuff we've done are people who just write real. Jim Payne, I don't think there's anyone better to just write about Newfoundland, Labrador, and the people of Newfoundland, Labrador, and the story of Newfoundland, Labrador in a real way than there is a Jim Payne. And I mean, we've worked with him before, but Otto Kelland to be amazing for somebody who has passed. But I mean, working with
Hard to get any better. Yeah.
Working with Jim Payne again would be great.
We played Stanfest a couple of times, and they had this part of the festival called Singing Stan, and it was interesting to go through all of Stan Rogers' music and try to pick out a song that would work for the band. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you somebody else too. I've been listening to a lot of his stuff lately. We met him when we were over in Ireland in January. He's from PEI, Shane Pendergast.
Okay.
A phenomenal songwriter, one of the best, and you should listen to his music. I'll have him send you over an album. He's a great folk songwriter. He's like a nice mix of, like, I think they say like Stan Rogers and Stompin' Tom kind of.
Yes, Spy.
If you listen to his writing, you wouldn't think he was as young as he is.
I know. Yeah, he's an old soul, but he's got this tune called "What's the Future of Tradition?" Really good tune.
Wonderful. Now, of course, speaking of PEI, the ECMAs are coming up, and by the time that we'll be dropping this, you guys will be heading up to Charlottetown. You're going to be playing the award show night on May the 2nd. I'll be up there myself as well. So, you guys been up for ECMA awards before, I believe. Did you walk away with any ECMA awards in your lifetime, or no?
No. Nominated a few times, and always been able to go and experience the great weekend that it is in different parts of Atlantic Canada.
But yeah, same question. How does it feel to be up for an ECMA once again for not just like Fans' Choice, but also Video of the Year?
I was always great thrill by it, and I think the Fans' Choice by it really means the most, just because we know there's so many people out there voting for us. You know what I mean? It means a lot. You know.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it's like any award. It's an honor to be up for it, but being up there and being around everybody, it's a cool week. And we've had to miss it the last couple of years because we've been playing in different places at the time of ECMAs. But to be able to go to ECMAs now, we get to run into people we probably haven't seen in 2 or 3 years. Like, you know, the Hostess de Hilaire is a band in New Brunswick. I love that band. I think they're like, you know, awesome rock band. They're very like the Doors almost.
Oh, wow.
Like they're, you know, to get to go, and hopefully they're there. I'm not even sure if they are. They were there last year or a couple of years ago.
What was the band again?
The Hostess de Hilaire. French band.
It's
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
mostly
understand
French language. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Awesome show if you can ever catch them.
Yeah, worth seeing.
Lovely. Now, of course, by the time that this drops, you'll already be on tour promoting this brand new album. What else is next for you guys, aside from the fact that you're going to be coming here to St. John's May 19th for your album release show for Gone Jiggin at Gower Street United Church?
Well, shortly after that, we're going to be doing a little tour of the UK. Like we're doing Orkney and some dates in England. So
Yeah, we'll be heading over for the Orkney Folk Festival and some islands off the top of Scotland there, and then we we'll land in London and we drive around. It's a Rural Roots tour, and we're going to be going around to some smaller towns. I don't think they're as small as St. Bride's, but
But they're close.
they're big enough, and we'll be heading around to some of those places. We'll be there for about 3 weeks around the UK, and then we head back home, and we get right into summer again, and we got, of course, the Iceberg Alley Festival with Shanaganak is going to be headlining tonight, and get to share the stage with Jackie and Carla.
Stagger Tight are coming back for a reunion.
Buddy, what's his name? First time in 5 years for them?
Yeah.
What's his name? I was at the last show. Myself and Dave Whitty went to the show at the Arts and Culture Centre the last time the Baz played, and can't wait. Can't wait to see Buddy.
Yeah, I saw them at the 2018 Newfoundland and Labrador Folk Festival when it was rained out. I remember myself and my dad were going down there that one night, and I believe when Bud Davidge came out, he pretty much sang the rain away. But it was a great time. Buddy What's His Name were fantastic, and I had to have him, and I got him on Celtic Wake Up once upon a time. Hope to get him on the podcast sometime too, guys. Hopefully you accept that invitation. But what does it feel like to be playing on a bill that includes Buddy What's His Name and Stockertight, and also close friends you got in Shanaganak, and Jackie and Carla too?
Well, we're in great company. We couldn't ask for any better people to share the bill with, and just kind of like the Newfoundland music scene is a big family almost. So it'd be great to catch up with the folks that I do know. I don't really know Kevin. Not Kevin, Wayne. Wayne is the only fellow I really haven't spoken with at Buddy Wasisname, so I'll be looking forward to
same for me with Ray Johnson.
Right, yeah.
No, I can't wait. I mean, we're major fans beyond even being able to call some of these people friends. But growing up with that music, I remember going to Buddy Wasisname when I was a kid. Dad bring me to the show at the Arts and Culture Centre, and now to be able to, we have one of Kevin's songs on the new album. That stuff is very cool to be able to sit back and kind of assess what you're doing. Like, oh man, when I was like 5 years old, I used to listen to the Yammy all the time.
Yeah, you're playing with people whose CDs you listen to growing up, which is so
cool.
My son, you want to see something go. Remember the vet?
Oh, the vet, yes, that's the vet.
Yammy, it's all good. It's barbecue. Did you hear that?
I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh, yeah.
But who doesn't laugh at one of Kevin's skits, or hear one of Ray's recitations or instrumentals, and who doesn't cry at one of Wayne's songs like Saltwater Joys? I mean, it's a Newfoundland and Labrador classic.
Oh yeah, like that's
some hits. It's genius, really. Buddy Wasisname is an absolute genius outfit.
Yeah. And even like everyone knows them for their comedy, but their serious songs are as good as anything anyone else writes as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I've been throwing you guys a lot of questions about what's been your favorite and stuff, so I'll throw you out with another one. What's been your favorite place to play since you guys have played together, and why?
Simple answer.
Hometown first, say that. Yeah. I always enjoy going to Fogo Island, Brimstone Head Festival. We've been there a few times. The Torngats was a highlight for sure out of all the gigs I've ever done in my life. Surprisingly, a lot, of Newfoundland gigs. Like, for people from here, we still like playing the tourists for areas we haven't really been before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just anywhere you can go. Like, really, we've been never cooler for years now. It's like the never-ending tour, and we got to do Scotland and Ireland this year, and I think we're heading to Portugal next October.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's something on the horizon.
We're going to try to get more warm locations. I think.
Oh yeah.
When the snow is coming here, if we can get a few.
Oh yeah.
If we can get a few days in Skidoo, we're laughing, but that's about all
Go
we
to
need
Cuba.
snow for,
You can go to Cuba. You can go to California. You can go to like Dominican Republic.
If anybody out there in Cuba wants us to come play a few tunes, let us know.
I think Andrew Rogers played down there one time at the Dominican.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dave Whitty gets to Mexico just about every year. It's a good gig,
We've done a few Air Canada vacation things over the years that have been lovely, but then again, we've done it here in the cold as well, and as long as it's inside and everybody's warm and having a good time, you can have just as good as a time here as you can have on the beach in Dominican.
Just got to dress for it, hey?
Oh, for sure. And we're all prepared for it, that's for sure. We're tough as nails, and we're tough as tough can be. Yeah. Now, for people who are in those big cities or small towns that are looking to come and see a Rum Ragged show, for people who want to find out where you guys are going to be playing to next, and everything Rum Ragged that's coming up in the next year or two, where can they go?
Rumragged.com.
Yep, and we have Facebook and Instagram, all that old stuff.
Yeah, all that old
I don't know if we have Twitter, do we?
I think we do.
Yeah, Twitter. So I don't know who's taking care of it.
I mean, who uses Twitter, or we call it X now?
Oh, it's X, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
They have no name on that. I don't know if we know the password.
Yeah, that's probably.
Anyway, follow us on that. We'll figure that out soon. And, Instagram and face
There might be a TikTok
I think there's a TikTok
account that's been neglected for sure.
We only look old. We're not that old. We should know this stuff and have it figured out. But no, you can follow us on social media or on the website at rumragged.com.
All the links are on the website, anyways. So.
Yeah, but you can get ticket links there on the tour page, and just looking forward to a good year of being able to go play this music from this new record.
Well, guys, congratulations again on releasing your first record in 5 years. It's a fantastic record. We're going to play one of the tracks shortly once we're done this conversation. But I cannot express how proud I am of you guys. When I first met you back in 2015, and I've got to meet you in between that time, to see how far you guys have come from your first record to this brand new one, and getting the opportunities that you've had with this group. I'm super proud of you guys, and I think you're only just scratching the surface. You're only just getting started. So, Mark Manning, Aaron Collis of Rum Ragged, thank you so much for joining me on Next to Connect. You guys have a wonderful day, and congratulations again on all your success and the release of your first album in 5 years, that being Gone Jiggin.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, Zach.
I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.